needs of our students through all types of learning, visuals, kinesthetic, and the full spectrum of learning, we'll get a lot more results. High-performing students are, for a long time in this district, I told we're not going to worry about them because they're at grade level. But I've seen the results. I've seen kids that respond well under those conditions and kids that respond miserably. They start to disengage and become depressed and can be quite harmful to them. So we really do need to think about all learners, those above and those below the curriculum. I don't think we need a GATE program, a standalone GATE program per se. I think we just need to take a look at the full spectrum of learners, the full spectrum of learning preferences, and start addressing them through personalized learning, period.
Mr. Eames.
An awful lot of this speaks to what we would call a culture of learning and what's going on at the different school sites, and whether we're providing enough challenge for our students to engage them in the learning they need to be receiving. All right, I found that a course that was well put together and demanding commanded more respect from all of the students than courses that were designed to basically make people feel comfortable. I spent 20 years in the classroom before I turned to the dark side and became an administrator, working on coming up with classes that challenged my students to think and to reason and make decisions for themselves. Now that's the purview of an American government teacher or an AP government teacher, and yes, our AP classes are overcrowded. What that means is we need to get a few more teachers who can teach on that level, and that's going to be part of what we want to have happen. I don't think we walk away from the fact that we have a lot of talented students that have not yet been led to what their best fate is in the classroom. And I think that's something that we need to really spend time looking at.
Okay, to me, I think what we're really facing, and I think we're facing it as a nation, is the crippling effects of No Child Left Behind. It's underfunding and it's poor planning. So, I'm just going to start with that, because we've had 8-10 years of that stuff, and yeah, you taught some kids how to take a test, but you really didn't inspire learning in a lot of them, and that's a problem. One of the things I think is a real key to this is the Common Core standards that are coming out across the nation. They higher expectation of reading, writing, and math, critical thinking. They're more into biography writing, so it's professionally applicable instead of fantasy writing. When you look at the fact that, yes, it's going to take a little while, probably take 3 years to roll out this Common Core practice, and as Todd said before, it's only a starting platform. It's only a base. But it gives us an ability to raise all of the kids up, and by doing that, you create an atmosphere in the classroom that is conducive to the real forward-thinking, aggressive students having the time for the teacher to actually give them a little more of their time, a little more personally directed attention and harder problems. So I think that you're going to see a major change in the next 3 years as to how everybody accelerates and learns. But the one thing that is main, we do need to start addressing the needs of our higher learners at an early age and continue it all the way through high school. I also think that one of the things that ADS does is these career academies. By the way, they're supported by the California Bar Association, by Chevron, by several industry leaders. They're looking for highly trained young kids to come into their workforce. Their academic rigor is high, so if you're not getting it, you're probably not in the right school, because we are delivering it in areas. Now it's hard to find sometimes too.
Being on the advisory team of the academy, both Mrs. Cronenberg and myself have been pushing for academic standards. More AP classes. I think part of that $5 million should go to training more teachers for AP English, AP History, AP Calculus, and all the APs. Last summer's program, we had junior achievement where 19 students spent 4 weeks at Richmond High School. UC Summer Bridge, 2 at UC Berkeley. Academy of Art, 20 students went to San Francisco for 6 weeks. Summer Legal Fellowship, 14 students at UC Berkeley for 2 months. Health Academy Summer, 331 interns at Doctors Medical Center, San Francisco General, Red Cross, Kaiser. Those were students who are really into education and want to do more. More STEM. We have working on a project now with economic partnership with Contra Costa College. Chevron sponsored that. 591 students for 3 weeks did that at DVC over in Central County. The Ivy League Connection. 41 students went this summer to the Ivy League schools. So we are giving an option to those students to excel and to go beyond simply that. 2012 summer programs at Helms, Crespi, Portola, Richmond High School, Compers, Independent Studies. Total, we had 2,119 participants. 60% were female, 45% Latino, 15% African American, and 32% Asian. We can do it, we are doing it. We need to train more teachers to do the AP classes also. So it can be done. In middle school, we have introduced academies, for example, at Helms, performing arts, multimedia, and engineering. So they started at Helms in middle school, and when they moved to Richmond High, they were already in the program for the academies in the high school level. We can do it, and we are.